We're in Tainan, Taiwan. This place is a street food paradise, and today we're going on a huge hunt to find the best noodles that Tainan has to offer.
Tainan is a noodle paradise. We're food hunting here to bring you the best and most unique bowls of noodles you've ever seen. Watch out for the freshest squid noodles, Tainan's famous Danzai noodles, noodles made entirely out of fish, and the only bowl of noodles we've eaten that could kill us. Get ready for some mouth-watering food.
I'm Thomas.
And I'm Sheena, and we're chasing a plate.
We hope you're hungry. Let's eat.
First stop is for a bowl of squid and rice noodle soup, and check out the line behind me. There are so many people in the queue, so let's go and join them.
We've got our bowl of rice noodle squid soup, and look at it, it looks so good. Now this looks super simple as well, just a clear broth, a little bit of celery, some blanched or boiled squid on top, nice big chunks of that, and a round rice noodle. This place is ridiculously busy. There are so many people lined up, and we got here right when it opened, and the queue was probably already 30 or 40 people at that point. I'm just going to try a little bit of this clear broth to start. Really simple. Doesn't have much squid flavour. I was expecting a squid flavour. It's quite sweet. It's got a little taste of that celery that they've put on the top. Really, really simple. Let's just go for it. Actually, what there is here is some sauces. So we've got two sauces. I think this might be a chili sauce by the looks of it. Quite thick. And probably just a soy. So let's put those in and dunk the squid in those. I'll get a whole lot of that chili sauce. Squid, some noodles. It's like a fermented chili sauce, maybe a fermented bean in there. That's really good. The squid's actually a little bit chewy. I was expecting it to be much softer and more tender, but it's got a lot of bite and chew to it. But it's still really easy to eat. I'm gonna go for just noodles because they're awesome texture, these rice noodles. You get a lot of them too. Look at that, covered in that clean broth. Super simple again. It's covered in that sort of sweet broth, but they're not super gluggy from being in that broth. So they're sitting in that giant wok, just wallowing in all the soup. But they're not super gluggy and overcooked. It's really nice. Now this is the first dish of the day. Super simple, great way to start. I think from here it's definitely on to more bold flavours though. This Tainan noodle hunt continues, and next up we're having one of Tainan's most famous noodles. These are Danzai noodles. We're going to grab them right over there.
Check out this beautiful bowl of Danzai noodles. It's made up of a ton of different ingredients, so let me talk you through what we've got. So we've got some noodles hiding down the bottom there. They're swimming in a beautiful prawn head broth. There's some minced pork, minced braised pork on the top there, some poached shrimp, a meatball, an iron egg, and then tons of coriander. And this dish is called Danzai Noodles, which translates to Peddler's Pole Noodles, and it has a bit of a history. So it was invented by a fisherman in 1895, and he needed to make some money during the typhoon season when he couldn't go out to fish, and so he peddled these noodles, and he used to walk around the temples of Tainan, and he would carry the ingredients in 2 buckets suspended on a pole along his shoulders, and that's how they became known as Peddler's Pole Noodles. But let's get eating. This bowl of noodles looks really incredible. So I'm gonna get some of those noodles, bit of that minced pork hopefully will stick onto them. Alright, with some bean sprouts too. Oh, those noodles are the perfect texture. Still have a bit of bite. They're a wheat noodle and there's a crunch from the bean sprouts. I've got to get some of that minced pork and that broth because the flavour of the broth stuck to the noodles a bit, and oh, it's really good. Oh man, there is so much flavour in that broth. It's really intense. So what they do is they stew prawn heads for hours and hours and make it into this stock, and it's got a really sweet seafood flavour. I want to get into this iron egg. So iron eggs are a Taiwanese specialty, and what they do is they take an egg and then they stew it in heaps of spices and soy, and then they air dry it, and then it becomes like shrunken and almost chewy. So let's just give it a taste. It's got a really intense egg flavour, and you can sort of taste the herbs and the spices that it's been stewing in. And the white here is quite chewy and quite springy. It's got a lot of texture. I'm gonna go for some more of these noodles actually. Get more of that minced pork on there. Alright. And some of this prawn as well. Oh, this is such an epic bowl. It's like one big bowl of flavour. There is so much texture going on as well. So that chewy iron egg, that poached prawn is really crisp still. Crunch of the bean sprouts and the freshness of the coriander. And those noodles just sort of slurp right up. But the hero of the dish is that broth. It is so infused with that prawn head flavour, and it just like binds everything together and just creates this epic bowl of deliciousness. I'm really excited about the next bowl of noodles. The noodles themselves are made out of fish, so let's go and get a bowl. I've got my bowl of fish noodles in front of me, and they look so interesting. So the noodles here, these beigey grey coloured noodles, are actually made out of fish paste, which is so interesting. And she put them together, or put the dish together pretty quickly. She just popped a bunch of noodles into a strainer together with some minced pork, added some lettuce, and gave it a quick toss in a big pot of broth, so that it warmed through and cooked very quickly. Popped it into a bowl and then topped it with a bit of pepper, some seaweed, and then also a dribble of braised pork belly sauce. So voila, and oh my gosh, I'm just gonna mix it up a bit and then just give those noodles a go. Whoa. They don't have a very strong fish flavour, but the texture, they're almost crunchy. They have a really sort of the consistency or texture of like a very stiff pasta, and there's a lot of chew. It's so interesting. Alright, so the first few bites of the fish noodles didn't have a strong fish flavour, but the aftertaste is seafood, it's fish. So let's go for another bite. Alright, so the more I eat, the stronger the fish flavour, and the pork flavour is also quite prominent. The lettuce is really great because it adds a bit of crunch, it's fresh. And then you've got that seaweed flavour on top of that. It's such an interesting, unique dish.
There's this big tub of sort of chili paste or chili oil on the table, so I'm gonna dump a whole lot on these noodles and give them a go. We'll just mix that in a bit so you can see all the lettuce, the bits of pork. Let's get those noodles covered. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, that is good. That's really spicy. Really good chili heat and a little bit tangy. And noodles are an amazing texture. I think like Sheena said, they're kind of like crunchy almost. Really good. And then I love the little bursts of lettuce, particularly with that chili. The lettuce just freshened it all up. Whoa, that's getting hotter. That is good. That is really good chili. Next up, we're hunting down some more noodles, and I am very excited about these ones. And I'm excited because they've got eel in them, and I absolutely love eel. Wow. We've got these eel noodles and they look great. So we've got two versions, dry version with the eel, some egg noodles, some onion, and I think some chives or spring onion, and then a wet version as well. So the wet version's the same except it's swimming in this sticky potato starch sort of soup or broth. And these eels are pretty amazing because they're very bloody. They're swamp eels and they're absolutely covered in blood. As you can see up the front there, they're just shining, they're bright red, and the eel blood is actually toxic to humans, so you've got to be careful with this stuff and they've got to be cooked properly, otherwise big trouble for me. So these are all prepared. He scrapes that blood off. You see him cutting the eel up into smaller pieces. And then it's very simply just he throws together the onions, the eel, those spring onions, big chunks of garlic which he crushes onto his cutting board with his cleaver, and then dumps that all in the wok just like that, and then fries it up really quickly with a lot of heat. And this is the end result. So obviously the soupy one has the soup added and the dry one as is. So I'm gonna go for the dry one first because this really excites me. This dish looks insane. Oh, oh, that eel. Oh, the eel is a really interesting texture. It's almost a little bit crunchy and has a little bit of a slimy feel to it. It's got a great freshness to it though. It's really nice. The dish overall isn't massively bursting in flavour though. I mean the onions obviously taste sort of sweet. They're still a little bit crunchy. There is some white pepper here, so I'm going to douse a bit of that all over the dish. If I can get it out of this container, there we go. Douse a bit of that on. Let's grab another big piece of eel and then get some more of those noodles. That dish is incredible. That pepper added a slight little peppery twang, but the eel itself is the hero. I love that. Noodles just taste like noodles. Everything else just tastes like what you'd expect, and the eel, you can taste it. Delicate flavour, beautiful texture, sort of a little bit crunchy like I said, but sort of a fish flavour. Oh, that is good. Now let's grab some of these soupy ones. Actually, you know what? Let's just taste this soup. by itself. See what the flavour is like in that. Oh, it's really sweet. Really sweet. A little bit sticky in texture, very sweet, and then tasted like the onions actually. Let's just get some noodles in. Big bit of eel in there. Oh, and they're just covered in that soup, clinging to the noodles. Really, really similar. Except that one's really sweet. That sweetness from the soup. Oh, which one's better? They're both super good. I think this one needs a bit of the pepper as well. So let's just douse that in the pepper. Give it a mix up. Another piece of eel. Oh yeah, I love how the eel really holds together. So you can see, you grab it with your chopsticks. It doesn't just fall apart. It's really nice. Oh man, these are good. These are really, really good. Real specialty in this town, and I can see why. Like, they're unbelievably tasty.
I like the look of this gloopy, wet eel dish. All right, got a piece of eel and a heap load of noodles. The soup is really sweet. The noodles very tender, quite rich tasting, and that eel, it's just so melt in your mouth. It is a little bit slimy, like Thomas says. I expected it to be a little bit more meaty, so like a fish in texture, but it's not. It is like a little bit slimy, but it is really flavoursome. It's almost got like a little bit of charredness from being in the big wok, having that heat directly on it. That's really tasty.
What a day of noodle eating. Unreal.
Noodle eating.
So good. What were your favourite?
I would have to go with the Danzai Noodles, the second noodles that we had. The broth was just insanely flavoursome.
I liked those eel ones, the dry version just then. Very simple but so good, and really smoky from the wok. Like all that cooking from that wok, the smoke, the fire had imparted itself perfectly. They were good, really good.
Thank you so much for watching. We really hope you enjoyed this one. Pop a comment down below, let us know which noodles appealed to you the most. Give this video a huge thumbs up, and if you want to support more Chasing a Plate content, check out our Patreon page. And remember to subscribe, heaps more food videos coming. Thanks for watching. 再见.
再见.